today. From MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Zach Wilson and the New York Jets taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now the second-year man from Carolina, this is Michael Carter. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. He told us he wanted to have a big game running the football. He predicted well north of 100 yards. That's a heck of a start.
And we thought he was just blustering, right? We thought he was just kind of talking and trying to maybe talk himself into it. He knew something, and now that confidence is going sky high.
And they're already in plus territory. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return will stop right around the 25.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
For the 2nd consecutive season, Tua as a starter and Miami as a team both had winning records but missed the playoffs. His numbers, they weren't terrific, only 2,600 yards and 16 touchdowns against 10 interceptions, but he also overcame fractured ribs early in the season to return and play well down the stretch. And don't forget, when he did come back, he led Miami to 6 straight wins, which kept them in the playoff race.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
That's going to be caught downfield by Hill.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Dolphins take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive.
Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
On 1st down, Wilson able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
shotgun snap and a give to Carter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. Wilson on the hook up to Davis. First down, Jets. Johnson on the counter. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Nothing our score after 1. Second and 8 coming up. Wilson going to give to Carter on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossen. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Coming up in prime time here in Week 5, a couple of division rivalries on the docket, beginning tonight in the AFC North with the Bengals and Ravens from Baltimore at 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Raiders and Chiefs from Arrowhead in the AFC West. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10. at their own 22. They'll start this drive with a handoff to Carter. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On third down, here's Carter. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Touchdown! Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Mostert. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
On second down, Mostert. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
He'll buy some time right. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for 28 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Isaiah McKenzie, a touchdown reception. From there, we head.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him. Cole, that to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
23 yards, the final tally. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They'll find Williams on the slant. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to his running back, Carter. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the...
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Steps away. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second down, here's Mostert again. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Sanders' kick is good, and that now makes this a 15-7 game. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there for the offense. They're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, this will be caught just inside the 10. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Jets on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. Corey Davis. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jets have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Wilson going to throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well defended right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground. Carter. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. 2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson gets this to Moore. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Here's Wilson. He'll drop that down to Carter underneath. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. The Jets on the move. Couple of big plays back-to-back.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now In this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's Johnson again on second down. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Again, it's Johnson. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a 10th carry for Johnson down to the 25. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. The give up the middle to Johnson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So on now is Greg Zuerlein in a pressure situation. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the city will be alive tonight. The Jets have won it. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though. A few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Jets, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they fall to defeat for the 2nd time this season. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife